All right, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. We apologize. We finally got our sound situation all worked out, and hopefully you're listening to us in crystal clear audio now. About 24 minutes left here in the Lady Jack Lady Jack softball. I'm already in the mood for it. We're here at the Lady Jack soccer match, the first ever in Warren history, and coming up at 7 p.m. or pretty close to that, we will have Lumberjack soccer, the first ever Lumberjack soccer match to take place. So history in the making here. Free kick taken by Talia Ramirez into the penalty area. Nobody there, though, for the Lady Jacks. It will be Sheridan ball. All right, Chris, we're finally set to go. We can hear each other clearly, and sound is good. That ball cleared away by the Lady Jacks.
We'll stay with Sheridan Yellow Jackets. We believe the score on this ball game's 4-0.
All right, Chris, can you hear yourself a little bit better?
I've got you, yeah.
Okay. Again, we do apologize for the audio difficulties. Still getting things worked out. This whole Saline River TV thing and video stuff it's very new, and we're doing it using mobile station almost. So it's a little different, but we're enjoying every minute of it. And Sheridan's got a chance here, but Warren's able to keep that one out.
Shot on goal there by Sheridan, knocked away by the Warren goalie. We do not have a name for it right now. We can't get it to match up with our roster.
So a corner right here for the Yellow Jackets. Dangerous spot here to be in for the Lady Jacks. Down by the score. I believe it's 4-0. The scoreboard says 3, but I believe it is 4. Ball in, gets through everyone. Sheridan's able to keep possession. That'll go past. It will be a Lady Jack goal kick. Yeah, 20 minutes left here in this ball game.
We're actually going to take this one to the corner, Rob.
Oh, we are. I guess it was a deflection there. Again, number 7 for the Yellow Jackets going to take the kick here.
She's done a very good job for them today. For Sheridan.
Ball in. Oh, Warren wins the header. Got to clear it out, though. And that ball will be saved by Sheridan. Other ball up. Hits the side of the net. And that will be, finally, a Lady Jack goal kick.
Warren prepares to enter some substitutes into the ball game. 3 young ladies come on.
Trying to see the numbers here. We've got, looks like number 21, Heather Henderson, came on. One of the substitutes for the Lady Jacks. Warren clears that one away. Henderson fights for it hard, and there's an injury on the field. We may see the play blown dead.
Quite a collision there. The Sheridan Yellow Jacket still down.
The referee's still letting it go, but as the ball goes out, he will probably stop play and allow that player to get checked out. It looks like we have an update.
We've got from the Sea Arc Slugfest in Monticello, Warren up on Hermitage 4-2 after 3 complete innings. The ball games being played on the campus of Drew Central. Appears Warren's playing well. Hermitage won their season opener last night, 10-0 over Northlet. So looks like a well-played game for the Warren Lumberjacks so far.
Absolutely. Lady Jack throw in. Sheridan gets the header. It will be Sheridan throw in now. Close to the edge of the penalty box, towards the right wing. Taken, I believe, by Escamilla. Number 9, Karen Escamilla, able to fight for that one. Sheridan, quick throw in, trying to catch Warren off guard. Ball gets away, and Talia Ramirez will take it for the Lady Jacks. At midfield, stolen by Sheridan. Chance to get down the right wing, but the defense of Sheridan able to get back. That ball goes out, and it will be Lady Jack throw-in. And Chris, as we talk about trying to explain a few of the rules here to our viewers, I keep saying Lady Jack throw-in. Sometimes I say, Lady Jack ball, but I think the important thing is to remember just because you have possession on a throw-in doesn't necessarily mean you're going to keep possession like you would in a basketball game. I mean, you throw it in, and it could go several different places. And now Sheridan had a golden opportunity right there to get a ball in the danger area, but takes a shot and doesn't get all of it, kind of deflects off and slices it through for a goal kick. And when we get to the boys' game here in a little bit, Chris, we'll discuss this a little bit more and just kind of give our viewers a little bit of an overview of soccer. Like I said, I follow quite a bit of it. I enjoy watching it. It's a fun sport to watch. I know some people have argued in the past that it is a boring sport, but I just don't buy that. It's an exciting, fast-paced at times, and when it's played well, when there's crisp passing and great great finishers, great strikers of the ball, or great shooters, it can be a very exciting game to watch, and I really enjoy it. And hopefully we've got some kids like that on these Warren clubs that are going to learn, get better, and eventually become great soccer players here at Warren.
Well, and the sport's gaining a lot of traction throughout the state, throughout the country. Definitely fast growing. Warren, of course, adding the sport this season. Norfolk adding the sport at a small school there around El Dorado. So it's definitely starting to branch out, get more people involved. And the future of high school football in Arkansas should be pretty exciting.
Absolutely. When we say that, we say football. This sport is known by most of the world as football. So what we play is football de Norte Americana here. I'll get a little bit of my Spanish in, but we play American football, and most people who throughout the world would watch this game, they would call this football. But we call it soccer. And actually, a little bit of information, Chris, if you don't already know this, I've done a little bit of my research. The original term for this game, when it was in England during I believe the late 1800s. I may be a little bit off on some of this information, but it was originally a term called socket, which how we get soccer. You're socking the ball. So calling it soccer here in the United States is not necessarily a wrong name. It's called that for a reason, and actually football is what the masses learned to call it in Europe. And if I know my history correctly, and again I could be wrong on this, soccer was actually a term for this game before football ever was. So it's kind of neat.
That is neat. I didn't know that.
See, we in the United States didn't just change it for the heck of it. We had a good reason. We called it what it was supposed to be called.
Our viewers learning something new here on SalineRiverTV.com.
Well, they'll probably look Wikipedia here in a little while and find out I'm completely wrong. But
yeah, that's all right.
It sounded good anyway if it is. But 16 minutes left here in the second half. Warren down 4-0 to the Sheridan Yellow Jackets. And, to be honest, Chris, first game ever. We've never had a soccer program. With 16 minutes left in the second half, being down 4-0, there's worse things. It could be 10,
definitely.
And this team has competed. They fought hard. They've made an effort. Definitely got some improvements to make, but it's the first game of the season. What are we expecting?
That's exactly right, and it's against an opponent that made it to the second round of the Class 6A state tournament last year.
Sure.
So definitely no slouch.
And there's another goal that makes it 5-0. 5-0 now. Sheridan on top of Warren, and they're the more seasoned team.
Definitely.
That's what you're seeing here. You're just seeing a team that in a school that's had soccer for a while, and if you can imagine a high school around the state starting a an American football, what we know as football here in the United States, starting a football program from scratch, you can expect in a community where a sport has never been before, there's going to be some difficulties along the road.
Well, and all too often when a school adds a sport like that, they're able to have the luxury of starting at the junior high level.
Sure.
And working up and progressing as you go through, and that really wasn't an option here.
No, not at all. And as we said earlier in the first half, it's just great to see the numbers that are out here for both of these teams. I was very surprised when I heard that we were going to have a soccer program that we had enough kids to do a girls and a boys team. I mean, there's a lot of schools, if they want to start a program, they'd have to have a co-ed program.
That's correct.
And
or a lot just playing Norfolk, for instance, they're just fielding a boys team. And there are several other schools in this conference that are doing the same thing.
Sure.
Pulaski Robinson, Kip Delta, and Helena only fielding one program. So numbers are they're good to have here. Got 23 young ladies out. I'd be interested to see how many of these young women participate only in soccer.
Yeah. Well, I see a few faces that I recognize from basketball. I know Talia Ramirez plays basketball, and she's a good athlete. So it's some of these girls are just quality athletes, and some of them are going to be good soccer players. But as you can tell just from our viewers out there who haven't watched much soccer in the past, you must be an athlete to play this game. Definitely. I mean, it's the few times that I've played competitively with amateur teams here and there, just kind of little pickup games. Within 5 minutes, I'm usually dog tired, and it's tough because if you see the breakdown on the professional level, a lot of times statisticians for soccer, you would think there wouldn't be many stats, but they'll even keep up with how many miles people run during a particular game to keep. And coaches need that information.
Well, definitely, conditioning level is vitally important to play soccer at this level. You're constantly moving, turning, cutting. A lot of energy goes into it. And these young ladies out here definitely well conditioned.
And just knowing Coach Rusty Dinsmore, the head coach of the Warren Lumberjacks and Lady Jacks, and Coach Stephen Quos, both of them have worked very hard with both of these teams, the boys and the girls teams, to get them in shape. These kids, a lot of them have played soccer. We do have a number of Hispanic kids that have played soccer, and some of the kids that aren't Hispanic have played soccer, but the majority that had played had been Hispanic. But honestly, they had played on levels where there wasn't a whole lot of practice and preparation made to get in shape. And that was kind of an eye-opening experience for some of these kids, especially during the fall when this program was really getting fired up and getting prepared for this season, was just getting in shape. And I think they've done a good job. And we'll see here in a little while how the boys turn out. But again, this is early in the season. We're probably just now getting into that competitive mode. We've been playing each other for ever now, and it's time to play some different opponents. And Warren doing a nice job right there, just finally starting to push the ball into the final third. And in the first half, that was a problem. We kind of sat back, and you and I talked about it during the break when we were offline trying to fix our audio difficulties. We didn't look confident with possession. We cleared it a lot, just getting it out of the way to feel protected at the back. Well, and obviously we haven't been too terribly protected in the back because it's 5-0, but you got to get to the point where you feel confident enough with possession that you can push forward and know that if you do turn the ball over, it's okay that you got people at the back that are going to defend. A chance here to get a dangerous ball in. Talia Ramirez shot up. Oh, just blocked. That was headed for the far post. I think that was going in, Chris.
That was a nice shot right there, and as you mentioned earlier, Talia Ramirez, very good athlete, multi-sport athlete here at Warren High School.
And just wraps that foot around the outside of the ball. Honestly, if that ball just takes if she does it just a half second earlier, I think she beats the goalie. But a nice effort. That's been the moment of the night so far for the Lady Jacks.
And in spots here in the second half, they've looked a lot better. Granted, it may be against some of Sheridan's twos, but that's a positive sign here in the first game of the season.
Well, and no matter who you're playing against, whether it's first or second string, it doesn't really matter. I mean, that shot right there, just to get it on goal and have that nice curl to it, that takes talent, and that's a good sign for a first game to have an athlete be able to curl that ball into the far post and threaten the keeper. is a big plus for me. And this is a big team, and we're going to play some big teams in the conference if you look at it. And we'll talk about the conference here in a few minutes, but it's a good sign to see a shot on goal that had that type of curl to it. And that ball goes off. It'll be a Sheridan corner. Let's go ahead and take a look at that girls' conference.
Sure.
We're looking right now. The girls play in a bit smaller conference than the boys, but in the 4A. And this isn't going to be the conference teams that people are used to watching for baseball, football, basketball. Those schools don't have soccer teams yet. We're really the pioneers of it in our normal conference.
And in soccer in the state of Arkansas, 4A is the smallest classification.
Oh, we may have a free kick. No, cleared away. So nice chance. We had a 3v2 situation. We still got it. Cecilia St. John takes it for the Lady Jacks, pushes it down the left wing, just stolen by Sheridan. All right, back to what we were talking about, though, the conference. We just take a look at the breakdown. Obviously, Warren's in it. Arkansas Baptist, Episcopal Collegiate, Harmony Grove Benton, Malvern, Maumelle, Pulaski Academy, and Stuttgart. Not your normal conference teams that we're used to.
In this conference, Pulaski Academy is the class. Pulaski Academy won a state championship last year in girls soccer, beat Valley View 2-1 in overtime. They have won 5 state championships, and a very, very good program, as are most of the athletic programs that they field. But the conference is large in number. It's large in its footprint. A number of long trips ahead, but that's just kind of the nature of it. As I mentioned, 4A soccer is the smallest classification in Arkansas. That's why you see schools like Arkansas Baptist, who is a 3A program in other sports, Episcopal, who I believe is a 2A program in other sports, Harmony Grove. These are schools that we normally don't see in the athletic arena.
8:35 remaining here in this soccer match. Sheridan on top 5-0.
And in discussing the league, Rob, in addition to Pulaski Academy, who's been very successful last season, both PA and Episcopal Collegiate were in the state semifinals. So definitely a tough league. The conference went 3-1 in the first round of the state tournament. So definitely be some good competition here on the girls' side.
Absolutely. And then I think here in this first game, we've seen who some of the key players for this Lady Jack team are going to be. Obviously, I think we're seeing right there Talia Ramirez on the ball. She's going to be a key player to this Lady Jack team, as will Cecilia St. John and Melissa Miranda. All really your midfielders and forwards. And really those guys, everybody on the pitch is very important. But certainly those midfielders and forwards, those are the people that are going to put points up for you on a typical, consistent basis. And we'll see right here if Talia pushing it down the left wing just loses control for a split second. It goes out. It'll be Sheridan ball. But, she's fought hard tonight, as has Cecilia St. John and Melissa Miranda. They've all worked hard and put forth an effort against a solid Sheridan back four.
Sheridan runs in a number of substitutes. Warren has done a much better job here in this half playing on Sheridan's end of the pitch.
Those of you who are watching this live or on demand a little bit later, we got a little bit of shakeup. It looks like Talia's got maybe a little bit of a knee injury. Of course, I believe she tore an ACL over a year ago at least, and you can see she's wearing a brace there, but it looks to be okay. She's going to stay on. But for those of you that are watching, you notice, it looks the field's a bit familiar. Well, we're at Jim Hurley Jr. Stadium is where the Warren Soccer home field will be. And the reason being we have lights here. We couldn't play at the complex because we don't have lights on that field. But, it's a good-sized field. And as you and I were talking during pregame, we discussed, and a lot of people don't understand this, high school soccer has no really set standards for field size.
Exactly. And I was really interested to hear that. Fields, I believe I read, could be anywhere from 100 to 120 yards long, which, when you factor in an extra 20 yards, that's quite a bit more running that you got to do during the course of a match. Anywhere, I believe, from 55 to 80 yards wide, which the difference between 55 and 80 yards is unreal.
Well, and I've seen some games played on some fields that were much smaller than this, and I can tell you it really, really affects the game because when you get that many people in a small area, it's tough to pass. It's tough to find open space, and soccer's all about finding open spaces. If you can get fresh green grass ahead of you and some open area, just to get a shot away. That can really change things, but on a small field, that's difficult.
You're exactly right.
And it also changes play on the wings. On your right wings, which are where we would talk about really the hash marks on a football field would be. Anything outside of that would be considered a wing area. On a small field that's not very wide, you get your back four, your midfielders all in this one area. You just can't get the ball down the sides, and that's how you get crosses in. That's how you get balls in the air for your strikers and your other wingers and midfielders to come in and try to get a header on and maybe get some goals scored. And you can tell though, even though watching Sheridan, they're up 5-0. This Warren team has competed. They've been there and they've had some moments where they've been dangerous. They've had some moments where they've shut Sheridan down at the back. The problem is Sheridan's just obviously got that little bit of final finish in the final third, and they've been able to get one-on-one situations at the back
and get a number of shots off here through the course of the match, which is, the more shots you take, the better chance you have of putting goals on the board.
4:26 remaining in this game. First Lady Jack softball game in the history of Warren High School. Boys game coming up at 7 o'clock. Stick with us on SalinRiverTV.com. When this game's over with, we will go offline for a few minutes. We'll come back right at 7 or somewhere close to that, about 6:55, and we will bring you the boys game. Again, 40-minute halves, so not far off from a professional match in the big scheme of things, because a professional match has 45-minute halves. You're talking about a 10-minute difference there. That's not much. But the big difference, Chris, in that, and I know it's just a 10-minute difference between this and a professional game in terms of time. We're seeing a lot of substitutions. In a professional match, you get 3, period. Nothing more,
exactly.
Nothing less. And when you got, instead of being able to just shuffle people in and out, when you got 8 guys that are going to have to be out there every single second of that game, they're going to get tired in a professional match, and that's the difference.
Yeah, the benefit of keeping fresh legs on the pitch all the time is definitely a big one.
I think it's great, though, on high school level because more kids do get the experience of being out there to play. And in a state like Arkansas, this sport is not king. And you want to get kids as much experience playing as they can. You don't want to just put a few out there and have them play the entire time. So it's good, and it's good to keep these young players from getting injured. You get hamstring injuries and stuff like that from tight legs and tired legs.
And just the wear and tear
sure.
in general of getting up and down the pitch. Speaking of, Sheridan just made another substitution, entered a new goalie into the game.
And hopefully, I should know a few. I apologize to our viewers. I don't know a lot of these Lady Jack girls as well as I do the boys team, and I don't know the boys team really well, but I should know a few more names for that game. And again, we won't have a Sheridan roster, but we'll try our best to get those guys' names out there. I do want to go ahead and just read off the girls' roster so we can get all those names out there and people know who's playing. Number 25, Kelsey Burnett. Number 11, Indy Campos. Number 32, Kiera Charles. Number 12, Tiffany Clancy. Number 23, Alexis Clark. Alexis Clark. Number 7, Crystal Kudo. Number 3, Felicitas Crisostomo. Number 31, Tiana Davis. Number 6, Abby Early. Number 9, Karen Escamilla. Number 15, Sonia Gray. Number 19, Becky Gonzalez. Number 42, Victoria Haynes. Number 21, Heather Henderson. Number 2, Patricia Martinez. Number 13, Melissa Miranda. Number 22, Nikesha Newton. Number 8, Diana Padilla. Number 10, Talia Ramirez. Number 20, Mariana Rivera. Number 5, Cecilia St. John. Number 18, Ronesha Williams, and I believe she may be the goalie. Number 16, Camilla Moore. So that is your Lady Jack roster, and we do. If any of these girls watch this game that are on demand, that are playing right now, I apologize for not. We didn't have good audio in the first half, but we will next time we call one of their games. We'll try to make up for it.
Definitely. And all 23 young ladies definitely contributed a lot tonight. Nothing to really hang their head about here.
No, not at all. They've given effort. And if any of you out there have read my editorial today that I had in SaleneRiverChronicle.com on the sports page, go back and read that. Kind of the point of that article was we understand this may not be the year for success with our soccer program in terms of wins, but it is a success just to launch the program, and these kids are going to be remembered forever for being the ones that have done that.
Yeah, you're exactly right. And there are a lot of things that need to go into it. Obviously, the more reps they get, the better off they'll be going into the future. But the support is pretty good tonight. I know that they are hoping to draw even bigger crowds.
Sure.
As we move forward through the season.
Well, and I want to urge you guys, come out on a day, if you're not watching a baseball game, a softball game for the Lumberjacks, Lady Jacks, that's the end of this one. 5-0 your final. And we're going to be back here at 6:55. Remember to come back. Let me finish my thought, though. If you're not coming to a Lady Jack softball game or a Lumberjack baseball game this spring season or even a track meet, if there's nothing else going on, come out and watch this soccer team. Follow them. I don't care. It's fun to watch. It's a fun sport to watch. Unfortunately today for the Lady Jacks, they lose 5-0, but we will be back at 6:55 for the the show of the night. We want to watch the game of the night, and this is the boys' game coming up live on SaleneRiverTV.com. We'll sign off on this one. I'm Rob Reap alongside Chris Norton. Thank you so much. Chris, anything you want to add?
Hey, we'll tune in here for the boys' game coming up in just a few minutes.
Again, thank you so much. Be back here at 6:55 p.m. for the Lumberjack soccer team. First game ever on SaleneRiverTV.com.